Government in its current form just simply doesn't work.
Well, no, hang on just a second, Matthew. It's not that representational government doesn't work. It's that corrupted representational government doesn't work. And this began in 1976 when conservatives on the Supreme Court, for the first time in the history of the United States or any other democratic country in the world, asserted that if billionaires give large quantities of money to politicians, so much so that those politicians do pretty much exclusively what those billionaires want, that is no longer to be considered political bribery or corruption, that is now, henceforth, forever, world without end, amen, to be considered free speech and protected by the First Amendment. And then 2 years later, in a decision written by Lewis Powell himself, of Powell Memo fame, in a case called Boston versus Bellotti, the Supreme Court doubled down on that and said, by the way, this applies to corporations too. Corporations can now legally bribe politicians. And, by the way, can legally bribe Supreme Court justices. And that was the beginning of the current crisis in American democracy. So it's not democracy, it's not representative government that's you know, the source of this crisis, Matthew. It's the legalization, after 100 years of criminalizing this behavior, it's the legalization of political bribery.